I just wanted to say, credit to him there, because that was a moment where he could have really crumbled, and I think that was a real test of who he is and who he could be moving forwards as a manager. Not knowing a ton about him, not really seeing his teams play too much before this, and obviously a Chelsea job is a big job. You got a lot of eyes on you. You've got to do what you've got to do, and you've got to get wins under your belt. And he's won 6 out of 7 just with a loss to Arsenal in the first round of the League Cup. So you can just have to hold your hands up and say well done to him. And I think the main thing I want to talk about this weekend is time for managers, and in the moment, and the reality of the fact of, I always do say you need to continue to win, and you do need to continue to win in a sport that is just continuously week to week, and everything's big and everything's massive, and the narrative is constantly changing and turning, and you've got platforms like this, YouTube and Twitter and TalkSport and everything now, Sky Sports News 24 hours a day. There's always just so many people talking shit basically about you, and if you're winning, it's all great, but when you're not winning games, it's definitely a difficult one, and it's really, 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 really hard for managers. The reality of the fact of coming in and actually getting to do what you want to do, and doing a good job nowadays, it's just so difficult. And I think the big test for them comes when things aren't going rosy in the garden. We've seen that this season with Arne Slot at Liverpool. I want to see, who are you? I've never called for Slot to be sacked. I've kind of started to waver one way or another, but I want to see who you are when the chips are down, because that for me is what really makes a person, which really makes a manager. And Rosenior did that. The chips were down, things were against him. It was not a result that should be happening for them, and he manages to go and turn it around. And all I can say is fair play and fair credit to him. And I think for Chelsea, they don't look that kind of robotic-y, passing around kind of Enzo Maresca. You can see there was definite patterns of play and everything like that he wants to try and do. They feel a little bit more free. It feels a little bit more obvious in terms of what they're trying to do with the strength of the players that they're using. Everyone's playing to their strengths. They look happier. The Chelsea team do look happier. And again, look, winning 6 out of 7 games is going to do that for you, don't get me wrong, but it's not like they were completely struggling under Maresca or anything like that. They just look happier. They look a bit freer. And again, is it another manager? United go and get that win on today, 3-2 against Fulham in a bit of a mad game. But again, United, I hate to say it, kind of enjoyable to watch again. There's a lot of freedom in the Bruno Fernandes and Cunha and Mbuemo, and just how they release and they go forwards, and again, just looking like the weight's off the shoulders. They're playing with a smile on their face, and there's a lot to be said about that. And are we just starting to see that really, really creep in and hopefully be what football does move towards, and what these managers are doing? And I think at the end of the day, football is about, managing the game, what's happening in the moment, and it's not so much about the stubbornness of just sticking to what you want to do. And Rosenior does that on Saturday night.